Hi, my name is Christine. I'm a demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And as you can see on my tabletop here, I've got the new Penguin Place stamp set and the Penguin Builder Punch. And oh my God, I so love these things. So we're gonna make a card very similar to this one today. How adorable is this? It's a hula penguin and a cool dude. So, or dudette, as it were. Anyway, so we're gonna make this using some of the Glimmer paper. And afterward, I'm gonna talk to you about the Celebration, which is a super awesome promotion. So first we'll dig in and I will chat as we work. So you can use the stamp set to create your penguin, or you can create your penguin with your punch, which I'm having a lot of fun doing. So we need a black piece. I suppose you could change up the colors of your penguins. I haven't tried that yet. So, and then we need a white piece. Like, this is so easy to do. It's awesome. And then we need some feet. So I've been using pumpkin pie to do the feet and the beak. So this is a 1/2 inch scrap. So this totally has me using my scraps as well in my whites and my blacks and my pumpkin spice. So a 1/2 inch strip goes a long way with all these little feet. There we go. So oh yeah, we're doing 2 penguins. Oops. But I only need 1 set of feet. Oh my goodness, he's hard to pick up. We only need 1 set of feet because our cool dude is gonna have glimmer feet. Because why not, right? And then we need 1 more white part. There we go. So you do end up with some little extra bits, but that's okay. All right, so this is our penguin parts. Start there, and then we'll do the glimmer after. So these are photopolymer stamps, so they're clear. If you have photopolymer sets already, you'll remember that they used to print on the, I've got a piece of paper stuck here. They used to print on the plastic sheet or acetate sheet what the stamps were, so that it was easier to put them back. But they've gotten away from doing that, and now they print here on the stamp case itself. So just kind of line up here. I just work with my stamp set in my stamp case, and it just makes it simple. So we're gonna need some eyeballs. And I really like using my tiniest block for this because it's just a lot easier. So this is my little block A. And we're going to use our black Memento ink. And I'm only doing eyeballs on 1 because our other penguin is going to have cool shades on. So I'm putting them fairly high up. There we go. And I'm just going to clean this off with my Simply Chamois. You can also use, baby wipes or even a damp paper towel. Okay, and then we're going to move on to our beak. So there's 2 styles of penguins in this set. There's our little guy like this, and then there's our sliding on his tummy penguin. So there are 2 styles of beaks as well, because this guy needs his beak facing forward and this one is straight on. So I'm using the beak for our straight on little penguin. And the nice thing about the photopolymer stamps or the clear stamps is that you can see exactly where you're stamping. So our little penguin that's got the cool shades on also needs a nose or a beak. So I wish I had come up with this particular idea of the hula penguins on my own, but I did not. It was a post I saw from another demonstrator named Lisa Cornwall, I believe, yes. And she actually credited another demonstrator called Stamped with Aloha, which I thought was really appropriate for a hula penguin. But it really fit into my love of summer and what we're enjoying right now in terms of weather in this part of the country. So yeah, it's nice. All right, so we've got our penguin bits. So these guys are so easy to build. So I'm just going to put a bit of liquid glue under here. And we'll build our little penguin. Partly, anyway. So just pick up his little body, and I basically just leave a kind of outline of about the same size. And there's our little penguin. I mean, how, if you were just doing a plain, simple penguin, not that there's anything wrong with plain, simple penguins, they're awesome. You would just stick his little feet on top and poof, here's your penguin. I mean, isn't that adorable? So we're not doing that with this one, but we could. All right, this guy looks a little funny without eyes, but we'll get to him. So I don't need the feet right now, and we are just gonna put these two over here. Now, I want to make glimmer bits. So, for our penguin's hula skirt, I want to use a bottom bit. And I'm just going to cut kind of what I need, as much to the edge as I possibly can. A little bit longer for her skirt. There we go. And you'll note that I have a glimmer foot here. So I'm gonna go get another glimmer foot while we're here. So now we've got our feet, we've got our skirt. We need our sunglasses themselves. So to do that, I'm actually using the top piece here. And that's also what I'm using to make the bikini. But I don't want to cut like all of my glimmer paper because a little goes a long way with this stuff, right? So I'm going to make a purple top. And we'll go with kind of gradient glasses. All right, so I'm gonna make sure I get this. So this is our bikini top, which we will be cutting. And our sunglasses. There we go. So this way I'm not wasting a lot of glimmer paper because wasting is sad. So check out these glasses. Look at this guy. Oh, those are a tiny bit. I'm going to cut them just a shade because they're a little bit too big. If you haven't worked with glimmer paper before, I find it really easy to cut. There we go. Ha! So we'll make him now and get him out of the way because he's super simple to do. So I'm just going to put a teeny bit of glue behind the glasses and a little bit behind the feet. And we'll have our little cool penguin done. I don't know what is with my glue these days, but it's coming out fast and furious. So there's one little glimmer foot. So I am finishing off my week and a bit of vacation, and it's making me a little sad. I'm enjoying vacation. Going back to work can be so hard. I love my job, but I also really love being on vacation. So I'm just trying to get the shades on so that I'm blocking out the top of the white and not leaving too much room with the bridge of his little nose. So there is our cool dude. Now, moving on to our hula lady. So I ended up with a little bit of his wing or her wing, so I'm just gonna trim that. And I don't know what's going on here. It's a bit wonky, so I'll trim that too. So you can see that this is gonna go kind of on the bottom here. So to make the hula skirt, I'm just cutting my glimmer paper in thin slices. I'm leaving kind of an 1/8 of an inch up top that I'm not cutting so that it keeps its integrity. And I'm trying to cut the strands thin, but not too thin because I don't want to actually cut them off. We want a nice full grass skirt. So I've been trying to walk a lot as well, which being on vacation had a little more time to do. And oh, I've been admiring all my neighbors' gardens. It's so nice. I love summer. So one thing that I love with this Penguin stamp set, the Penguin Place, is while it is, you know, winter and Christmas and that, it is also any occasion really. You can do birthdays, you can do thank yous, you could get different sentiments and do, you know, thinking of you or anniversaries. So I've got a really cute idea for an anniversary, which I'll show you quickly at the end. All right, so here's our grassy skirt. I'm just gonna try to show that to you. So it's all finely cut. I'm gonna post pictures as well after the video so I can zoom in. So we're going to glue our skirt to our little penguin. I'm just gonna use a teeny bit of liquid glue to do that. And I'm only putting glue on that kind of 1/8 bit that I left at the top. And I'm just lining up the bottom with the bottom of my penguin, basically. And I'll just hold that for a couple of seconds. And we'll add her feet later. I just want to make sure that's nice and dry, and we can do her little bikini top while we wait. Now, I'm trying to remember, how did I do that? I think I just... There we go. And I'm just going to put a bit of glue on the back of those little bits that you can no longer see, I'm sure. I know about you, but when I'm working with tiny bits, I like to just pull them towards me and they're easier to pick up. I don't know if that's because of my nails or... All right. So I'm not pressing down too hard on that. One of the reasons I like to work with liquid glue is that you do have a little bit of lead time to move things. I'm gonna try to make her somewhat symmetrical. And there's our little bikini top. So she needs feet. So I don't want to put the feet like this and block her little skirt though. So I'm just going to tuck them underneath her skirt and have them pointing downward. So just a bit of glue. And the other reason I wanted to wait to do this, I wanted to make sure that my glue was nice and set. So I'm just floofing the skirt up a bit so that I can slide those feet under. And I'm putting the glue against the body, not against the grass skirt, because otherwise it would bleed through. Oop. There we go. Oh, isn't she cute? So now we can go about assembling a card. So the card I showed you at the top, I did a lot of got die cutting and textures and embossing and all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm going to make this version a little bit more simple, and I'm going to walk you through the whole thing so that you can see it and duplicate it if you like it. So first things first, we're going to need a piece of Pool Party, because that is going to be my backdrop for our little penguins. And for that, I need a piece that is 3.5 by 4 3/4. So I'm going to start by cutting at 4 3/4. And then, 4 3/4 by 3.5. So we're going to go 3.5. Feels really big. Yeah, okay. Then I'm going to use some crushed curry, as I find these colors go very well together. And for my crushed curry, I want 5. Oh, which side is not 5? So we're going to have to cut it on this side. This is how I end up with so many scraps, but that's okay because there are lots of ways to use scraps. By 3 3/4. Now you might be wondering how I'm choosing my measurements, and basically I'm starting off in my head with the concept that my card is going to be 5.5 by 4 1/4. So everything I'm doing is playing off that. If I'm taking off, let's say, a 1/2 inch, I'm taking the 1/2 inch off both sides. And that's what I've done for both of these measurements. I'm also, does that make sense? By 5. Yes. I'm also bringing in, this is the paper, and I think this is already cut at 4. This is the designer series paper from Celebration, which I mentioned at the beginning. So I'm going 4 by 5 1/4. Celebration is from now until the end of September. And it essentially, for every $60 you spend, you get to choose a free item. So I'm going to show you the Celebration paper in its entirety at the end, but this is one of the patterns in it. And last but not least, and actually I'm starting kind of upside down to build this with you, which is a bit weird, but anyway. I really like to use thick Whisper White for my card bases. It stands up really nicely, so it can be displayed on, you know, a table, a mantle, a fridge, whatever, wherever people like to display their cards and get a little smile when they walk by. So I've cut, sorry, I talked through that. So it's just a regular sheet of 11 by 8.5 that I have cut in half, and I'm scoring it at 4 1/4. So there's one thing that I have not included here, and that is I want to put these guys on some snow. So for that, I'm just going to get some regular basic white. And let me see. I want the snow to be the width of the blue, so that's too small. And the width of the blue is 3.5. So I'm actually going to start, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to cut this at, I don't need too much. I'm going to go at 2.5 here. So if you haven't used our paper cutter before, and I don't know if there's a dark cutting blade and a thin scoring blade all in one. So it makes it really nice and easy to use. So I said I wanted that at 3.5 in width. There we go. So I want my penguins to be sitting on snow, even though they are Aloha penguins. So to do that and to have kind of a more natural looking piece. So I've got, this is now the same width, right? But I'm going to tear it and it's going to kind of look more like snow or uneven, right? Oop. There we go. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just kind of, now we've got kind of a little snow mountain. So let's build this card and then we can add our words and such. So I've got a few layers here. So first I'm going to start by folding my card base along that score line. And you always fold into the little mountain. The little valley from the score is on the outside. And by scoring the paper, you just kind of avoid the paper from cracking when you fold it. So I like to use liquid glue most of the time, actually, especially with layers, just because it lets me move them if I need to, just a little bit before they set. Whereas when you're working with like a dry glue, it is stuck right away. So that's our first layer, and then I'm doing the crushed curry. The reason I went with crushed curry, I mean, it goes really well with the pool party and the, this is Misty Moonlight, one of the in colors from 2020 to 2022. I find like the crushed curry kind of makes me think of the sun. So we're doing a little bit of sunlight here. And then we've got our pool party layer. I don't know about you, but I find I fall in love with colors, and then I use them for a long time, and then I kind of put them aside for a bit, and then I come back to them, and pool party is one of those. I love this color a lot, and I kind of went through a pool party phase not too long ago and put it aside, but I think I'm back. All right, and then we've got our snow. Now, if you wanted to, we could stamp our sentiment right on the snow, which would also look good. But I'm going to raise it up. So you've got a choice. You can do kind of the cleaner side of the snow where I tore it, or the kind of part with the layers exposed. I'm going to go with that. So I'm lining that up at the bottom, kind of flush with the pool party. There we go. So now it's time to add some penguins. So you could pop these guys on dimensionals, which are those foam pieces that lift them up a bit. I am going to put them flat because there's going to be some more stuff going on, which I'll show you. So just adding a little bit of glue on the back of each of them. And of course I stuck my finger right in the glue. All right. So, I wanted to show you, I'm gonna make, I wanna put a flower in our little hula girl's hair. So I'm going to use one of the loose flower flourishes. And I wanna show you how to put some sparkle in there. So I'm gonna use my glue dots first off, first step. If you have had glue dots in the past, usually the glue dots are stuck to the inside strip, but for some reason, and I've seen other demonstrators talk about this too, it seems that they're putting them on the outside of the strip. Just a different way of doing things. It's taking me a little getting used to though. So I only need half this dot, so I'm just pulling it apart, and I'm going to put, just grabbing it with the take your pick tool. You could do this with the edge of your scissors too. I'm just putting it back and squeezing it down. And the other bit that was stuck to my nail, I am stuffing into, like I'm kind of forming it into a ball and sticking it into the center of my flower. All right, then I am going to use my basic rhinestones. And the take your pick tool also has this really nifty putty end. So this is kind of sticky putty, but it's not glue. So you can just pick up your little gems or rhinestones or whatever you're working with. And I'm sticking it in the center. And because I put that glob of glue dot in there, that is going nowhere. That is on. So that was a neat trick I picked up on a little while ago because I really love these flowers. And now comes our the rest of that glue dot. We're going to use it to put the flower on our little penguin's head. If you haven't worked with these glue dots, they are super sticky. Like they're really, really good. And a lot less finicky than the ones that come in our paper pumpkin kits. There we go. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love this card. Okay, so I'm just putting a few things kind of a little bit away so that they're not quite as much in my way. So now we need a sentiment. So I want to use Be Cool, Be Chill, but I do not want to use the Be Merry. That is the whole sentiment, is be cool, be chill, be merry. I'm not making a Christmas card right now, so I'm not going to use it. And I think, so I'm all about using my scraps as much as I can. So I think that this teeny tiny scrap will be just the right width to put my sentiment. So sometimes you'll have seen me where I actually put like a sticky note over the part of the sentiment that I don't want. The way that this one is, I really don't need to do that. I'm just going to line up the Be Cool, Be Chill on my ink pad. And I'm being really careful not to pick up that center dot, making sure I have lots of ink on here, but not too much. And hoping that I'm getting this straight. Ha! Perfect. So this I'm just going to cut. First I'll put my ink away. There we go. Now I am going to use dimensionals on this because I've got this really big flower. It really pops up, and there's some couple layers going on with our penguin. So I would like to add a little bit of height to that. So this is the border of the mini dimensionals. You could do it with regular dimensionals too. I always cut my borders up and use them to whatever size I need. This one just keeps wanting to come with me, but I don't want you right now. There we go. So I'm just going to cut this in 3 little pieces so that I can put them on the back of my sentiment. So they're quite thin. So I'm just going to kind of space them, one at the end, one at the beginning, and one in the center. And I'm leaving a pretty significant margin so that you're not going to see them, because Nobody wants to see foamy bits. There we go. And it's just gonna add a little height to this. I totally could have stamped the sentiment right onto the snow as well. It would have looked lovely. And there we go. And on the inside of this card, I'm going to do some stuff too. So first thing, I want to make sure that I don't stamp on the back end. So I am putting a sticky note just over top of the center fold, all the way down to the bottom, because I want to use the snow. And the snow is a very long line. That is where my second biggest block comes in, and that is block I. So he's a good size. We don't need the whole length, but we do need a significant amount of it actually. So I am actually going to use Pool Party to do the snow. I had done it in the Misty Moonlight before, and I just found it too dark. So sometimes when I'm using these really big stamps, I like to just ink up this way. And also when you're dealing with a thin line like this, just to try to be careful not to get it all over. And I don't want to take too much away from the bottom. Oh no. Guess where our penguin's gonna go. Yeah, I don't want to take up too much real estate on the bottom of the card because, you know, I want space to write. And you can see that I did a little boo-boo here, but that is okay because we can fix boo-boos by putting penguins over top. All right, so we're done with this one. We are done with Be Cool, Be Chill, Be Merry. So I don't know if you can see on the camera what I'm trying to do here with my, I've just kind of got that plastic bit that the stamps come on over top of the drawing, and I'm trying to put things back where they belong. I'm not sure which way I prefer. I think it might have been a little bit easier before, but anyway, I shall get used to this. So now we want to ink up our penguin good and black. I'm doing the sliding on the snow on his tummy penguin. I'm gonna have to name these guys because they're so cute. So I'm trying to cover up that flub that I have too. There we go. Oh, that didn't work out so well. So normally I would put the penguin over top of the snow and not with snow running through his tummy. But you get the idea. I think I'll be having to cut out a penguin and stick him on top to fix that. But we'll do his little beak anyway, so that you can see what I mean with the two shapes of beak. So pumpkin pie again. And the little beak that sticks to his body is even a little bit curved. So you just kind of line it up right on the black line. And we have a penguin beak. And on the inside, what was it? Yeah, I think I'll leave it blank for now. But you could put to the coolest friend ever, lots of thanks, lots of options. I really love this stamp set. Okay, so like I said, I would normally put the penguin over top of the snow, not with the snow running through his body, but anyhow, there we have him. So I'm just gonna close that one. Now I'm just gonna show you the original card that I made this morning. So I used the new diorama dies. My kids were watching a show from Australia, and they had dioramas in the classroom, and one of them got stolen. It was like the spy kids show thing. It was really funny. But I can't say diorama without thinking, diorama? Someone stole my diorama. Okay, so anyways, so there are several layers, and this is kind of what they do. And you can layer them up as well. It's really kind of a cool idea for a die set. Again, I just tore the snow. On the back, though, for the pool party, I used the embossing folder, the checks and dots. I used the dots. So embossing folders go through the cutting and embossing machine. You just put your paper between the two layers in a sandwich like this and run it through the machine between two plates. And you end up with a really nice embossed paper. It's magic. Like, seriously, there's no other word for it. Even after, I think I've been doing this for 3 years now, it's just magical every time I do it. And the rest of it is just essentially the same card. So 2 options I just wanted to show you. Now, I had mentioned Celebration and the amazing Celebration paper. I just want to show that to you. Sorry, I'm reaching down and grabbing it. Where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. I want to make a quick, simple card with it as well to show you another really cool feature of the punch. But first, let me show you this paper. So you get 2 sheets of each. So I'm just going to show you the front and back, and that'll give you an idea. So this one's really cute. It's got little bunnies and snowmen and the bear and the fox, and just polka dots on this side, so non-Christmassy, or Christmassy non-traditional. And here's some more sledding and playing through a forest with all the creatures. And this side makes me think of birthday. I don't know, it's just so happy and cute. And then we've got the bigger bonums, excuse me, and these can all be cut out, right? In fact, that's what we're doing for our card. Excuse me. But they're so cute and happy. Oh, I love this one too. So nice striped piece. Then we've got more bonums. Oh, the cute little bluebird. I hadn't noticed that. Every time I look at this, I see something different. And then the back of this one is that blue and white stripe. Then we've got, how adorable is this? And this one here, this penguin, fits perfectly with our punch. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. The back of this one's a nice green. And then we've got some, these guys are dancing. There's just no other word. They're so cute. So this is the Penguin Playmates Designer Series paper, and you can get it for free during Celebration if you spend $60 or more. So if you get the Penguin bundle and add on paper and ink, poof, you've spent your 60 bucks and you can get that paper. So it's just a perfectly complementing suite. So I don't need the stamp set right yet. So for this one, I've done most of the work ahead of time. I didn't think you wanted to see me fussy cutting some creatures, so I did the 2 that I wanted to do, and we're going to punch out the penguin. So a couple things going on. I've got my thick white half piece here of cardstock. I'm just going to fold that on the score line. It's the same size as the regular cards, so fold it up. It is 5.5 by 4 1/4. Then I've got 2 pieces of Designer Series paper for my background pieces. One of the colors in that paper is the, I keep forgetting the name of this one. I'm just going to check because it's driving me batty. I think it's, oh, it's Fresh Freesia. Completely off base there. So we're going to glue our first layer down. Again, just liquid glue works a charm. So this layer is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. So I've taken 1/4 off each side, right? And even though I'm in Canada, I always work in inches when I'm crafting. I don't know. It's one of those things. So this piece is 3 3/4. Oops, that went flying. I'm gonna have to check the other side. So 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. So that's my top piece. So again, I'm leaving like another 1/8 of an inch border all around. And then we've got 3 1/2 by 1 1/2 to finish off the 5 inches of that section. Does that make sense? So in the end, again, I'm a 1/4 inch smaller on both sides, even though I've used 2 pieces to do it. So I'm just going to line this up. And I could have gone a little higher at the top, but I didn't, so there it is. Now, I started off, I cut out my bear and I cut out my fox, but when I put my bear down, I noticed that he really faded into the background. So I took my layering circles die, and I cut out a 1/2 circle that I'm going to put down, and I'm just going to stick him all the way down to the bottom so you don't see the circle at the back. I could have put the circle under the green too, but I didn't. So I'm just going to use glue on that. So it's just so that the bear stands out. And this is Misty Moonlight is the color of this paper, and that is also one of the colors in here, as well as the Just Jade. So those are both colors from last year's In Colors that are still going strong. And then I'm going to stick my bear kind of just there. But first I want to place all my pieces, so I'm not going to glue them just yet. So we've got our fox. Now, here's what I wanted to show you with the punch. So, I mean, you do end up losing a little bit of your other animals, but you do have 2 sheets of this. So you can just line it up. So to line it up, I'm putting it where I think I want it. I'm pressing only partway down to pinch it, but not cut. And then when I'm happy with it, which I'm still not, dang it. When I'm happy with it, I punch all the way through. Oh, that's not right either. I'm getting his head. Duh. There we go. So you do end up losing a little bit of your other stuff, but that's okay. And how cute is that? So I just want to hide the blue circle at the bottom, so I'm going to do that. Isn't that cute? There's our little friends. So I'm going to just use liquid glue on the back of those 3. And I have to say the fox and the bear, like, they're simple enough to cut out. I am not a huge fan of cutting, fussy cutting they call it. I really do find that so well named because it is, I find it very fussy, but that's okay. Some people find it very therapeutic, and that's great. So I'm just going to tuck him in here. And we'll put our little fox sleeping in front. Ah, oh, so cute. So we don't have a sentiment for this one yet. I haven't gotten that far in my plan. But we could say, happy birthday. That's what we'll do. And we could add some presents, which I'm not going to do here, but I will do it on my, when I take the photos, you'll see the full finished product. The sentiments are very small on this one, which is fine. Just takes a little bit of getting used to as well. All right, so I don't want to use this whole big piece. That will fit. There we go. Excuse me. So I'm going to do this in the blue because it'll stand out nicely. And put away my ink before I stick my fingers in it. I'll just trim that. And put a wee bit of glue. Actually, no, we're going to put dimensionals on that. I would normally use regular size dimensionals, but they're way over there. I've got to take out a new sheet, actually. I go through a lot of them. And I'm going to put that up here. So there's a very simple happy birthday card. And like I said, I'm going to do some little presents and cut them out and stick them on. So when you see the photo of this one, it'll be a little more complete. But yeah, just wanted to give you a quick idea on how to use that awesome paper. I've done another happy birthday card as well. This one I did use the presents, and there's balloons. There's a gorgeous balloon in the set, which comes out really, really looking good. And this is another strip of that paper from the set, which I also put on the inside. This is our same penguin, but I used a little bow stamp and put a little bow in her hair. And happy birthday there too. And this is this is some thread that I separated out. This is it's one of the 3 packs of thread. So anyways, I hope this has given you some ideas and that you will consider purchasing this awesome bundle and taking advantage of the celebration paper, because as you can see, everything goes together so well. And thank you for watching, and please let me know if you have any questions or comments. I would love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.